So hello everyone, I don't think I've ever done a video like this, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I feel that have helped me improve as a bass player. So if you're a beginner or if you're maybe looking into some tips or something that may help you, maybe this might be useful. These are just things that have worked for me, so here they are. This is what I call anticipation. So it's basically once you practice or once you've learned the song, you're gonna be aware of what note is coming next or what chord change is coming next. So that way you're gonna be able to mentally prepare, and then you're gonna know where your hand is gonna go to next. And you're also gonna be aware of which finger is going on which fret. So this is just gonna make your playing smoother and more efficient. Here's something that I do for right hand stability, and you might have seen this before in some of the videos that I have in this channel. So what I usually do is I hook my pinky finger on the G string, and this is just something really good if you have like eighth notes or just notes that are pulsating and that they're very even. And this helps you keep your right hand super stable so you're not bouncing around. That's basically all I do. It's a little trick with your pinky finger. Another thing that I do, and I really don't know how this happened, but I guess other people use it as well. But whenever I want to accentuate a specific note, or it's kind of like, I would equate it to staccato in a way. And you know, I do a thing where when I pluck the string, this is usually, or mostly I use it when I'm playing with a pick. When I play the note with the pick, what I do is I kind of, let's say I'm playing a G, instead of just passively, you know, stepping with the index finger on the third fret and just playing like this, if I want to bring a little bit more attention to those specific notes that I'm playing, I kind of press on the string, on the fret. So it's, and it sounds a little weird because the bass isn't plugged in, but I feel that this helps with the dynamics of a song, and I think you can hear it better when you're playing with a band or when you're playing live, but this is just something that I've noticed that I do. And I don't do it a lot throughout the songs, but maybe like a couple of notes here and there. You may notice this in the short that I uploaded for Tales of a Scorched Earth by the Pumpkins. You're gonna see a couple of this thing going on in there. So check that short out if you want to see what I'm talking about. Okay, another thing is to get proper tuning when you are playing any note. Some people are under the idea that you have to put your finger right in the middle of the fret. What you want to do is you want to bring it as close as possible to the next fret, going up the bass. And if your finger is right next to this part of the fret, that's going to help you to get good intonation. So make sure that when you're playing, if you feel that maybe something's a little off, don't play off to the left side. Make sure you're at the right on the edge of the fret, and that's going to help you get good intonation. Another thing is you don't really need an expensive instrument to improve your technique or to get good results. I have this super cheap Squire that I got a couple of years ago, and you've heard it, you've seen it in the in a bunch of the covers that I have, and it sounds great. It sounds, for some things, it kind of sounds even better than my jazz bass or the other P bass that I have, which are both American Standard editions. It just really depends how you play with it. You know, it depends if you're aware of make sure that your tuning's right, and I think the secret, and I think this ties into tone. I think the secret to tone is also in your fingers, and I don't know, ask this question to maybe other guitar players or bass players, but I think a lot of other musicians might agree that tone comes from your fingers. So I think it's the intention that you put into the playing. So you're not just being passive about like, oh, I gotta, step on this fret and I'm gonna get this note, but actually like bring your awareness into the hands to try to get like the best color, out of that note that you're going to get. And I think this is something that comes with playing and experimenting and seeing what sounds best for you. So it's, I always think of it, if you think of Geddy Lee, you can give Geddy Lee any bass and that bass is just going to sound great, but it's because it's, Geddy Lee's hands and his fingers. So he has a very specific way of holding the instrument and of playing the notes. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that makes tone what it is. Okay, another thing that really helped me, especially when I was first starting out, or when I first started to get serious about practicing or maybe learning certain songs from certain bands, is practicing with a metronome. So I'm old enough to remember that I used to have like one of the little handheld ones with the batteries, but I have a metronome on my app now, on my an app on my phone. So just get one, and even if it's boring, just practice with it so you can start getting the feel of even timing. And once you get comfortable with that, find yourself a really good drummer. A really good drummer will do wonders for your timing. Another thing that helped me was challenging myself, and I did this when I wanted to start to learn how to play Led Zeppelin stuff. And that to me was kind of eye-opening, because if you start focusing in on somebody's technique, like John Paul Jones for me has been a big influence, and somebody who I think I've tried to study, and you try to see how they do the things that they do and why they do the things that they do. So don't be scared of taking on these harder pieces of music or harder songs. You just break them up into little bits, and if you just end up working on like a measure or two for a week or for a couple of weeks, then do that. That's what I did when I first started learning Zeppelin stuff. Same thing happened when I started learning Iron Maiden stuff when I played in the tribute band. I studied Harris, all the live videos that I could find on the internet, and so give yourself a challenge. Pick a band that you like, pick a bass player that you admire, and study them in live videos, and break up the songs in little pieces and start playing. Action. So your action is the space or the distance that you're going to have in between your strings and the fretboard. And it's personal, choice. It really depends what you're comfortable with. I prefer a lower action, and if you're not sure, what feels comfortable for you, just try playing maybe with different heights. Usually, if you feel that you're, the hand that you're using on the fretboard is having to use a lot of energy to press on the strings, and it's probably a sign that your action is too high. But if you're getting a lot of noise, or maybe like a lot of buzzing sounds, it's probably a sign that your action is a little bit too low. And so what I basically did is, before I used to rely on my friends who were also musicians to help me, figure out what action was best for my basses. And then I figured one day I'm just going to learn on my own. And I did a YouTube tutorial, and now I learn, and it's like super easy. So if you have like that Goldilocks spot, like, just like right in the middle, something that's perfect for you, it's going to make your playing super smooth, and you're going to get an improvement in the quality of your tone, and you're playing, especially on your left hand. If you play on the fretboard with your left hand, you're going to find that you're going to be more efficient with the energy that you use with it. So work on your action. Okay, and then here's an extra one. I would say that just like we have hard skills, we also have soft skills. So I think in terms of soft skills with music and playing in bands and being a bass player, is understanding the role of the bass player in a band. You're the glue of all the instruments, and you're bringing everybody in together. You're tying everything in, and just be aware of when is a good time for you to play especially if you're making your own music, when is the right time for the bass player to be present or to not be present? Sometimes silence can be louder and in a good way. Also, just don't be a dick. Be nice. Nobody likes, mean, angry people in bands. So just be nice. That a little bit goes a long way. Okay, I think this is it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And drop a flag emoji in the comments below. I want to see where you are watching me from. And thank you so much.